Good morning. Rest time progressions are up for the start of this week to get your week off and going. So, we haven't done rest time progressions in a while. This workout is going to focus on back and biceps. So, last week we did a lot of lower body. So, this week we might add in a more upper body. So, back and biceps for today's workout. Rest time progressions consists of 3 circuits. Each circuit is going to have 6 exercises. And within each circuit, those rest times are going to shorten. So we're working on our stamina, our endurance, our focus. The first circuit is going to be 40 seconds of work for each exercise with a 20-second rest. The second circuit will be 50 seconds of work. We shorten down to 10 seconds of rest. And that last circuit, we are working continuously for 60 seconds with no rest between all the exercises. There is a 5-second transition worked in to help you go from one exercise to the next. Focus on good form in this workout. Focus on strength in this workout. Your cardio aspect comes from shortening those rest times. So really focus on the strength aspect of this workout, okay? Should take us about 20 minutes. I would suggest for this workout, since we are pairing back with biceps, back work, you're going to get some indirect bicep work in, but we are doing some direct bicep work. So you might want to have 2 sets of dumbbells. For your back work, you can go a little heavier. For biceps, I like to go just a little bit lighter on those. Okay, so I have 2 sets, a heavier and a lighter set to work with today. I'm going to show you all 6 exercises, and then we're going to get started. All right, 6 exercises today. We are starting with external rotations, a great way to warm things up. For this version of the external rotation, I'm going to have the underhand grip. My elbows are going to be into my side. Weights are going to be down at the bottom, right about at my belly button, and I'm going to come up and down. So kind of like a little, just rotating up, taking my thumbs back, pinkies together, thumbs back. So you should feel it in your biceps. You should also feel this in your back as well. Then we're going to switch to the heavier weight. We're working unilaterally, just one side today on a single arm dumbbell row. So I'm going to have my dumbbell here. I'm going to place one hand on it. Make sure you have a nice strong back position, so you don't want to be rounded. So here you want to kind of sit your hips back. Sit the hips back. And we're rowing. Just one arm. We're focusing one arm today. And we're going to switch to the other arm as well. So if you don't have the mobility to reach down to your dumbbell, you can put your hand on, a chair. If you have a bench at home, you can put one leg up on the bench like this and row. All right. But we're just focusing on one arm. So then we will do that on the other arm for your third exercise. And then we go into a wide curl to an extension. I'm going to pick up my lighter weights, elbows into the side, arms out to the side, wide curl, and then I'm going to send it out. And when I bring it in, I'm drawing those elbows in to work my back. So biceps, send it out, bring the elbows in, squeeze, and repeat. Wide curl to extension. All right, so we cannot leave out our lower back. A lot of us do not work our lower back enough. And at the end of a really tough back day, I'll add in some good mornings for low back health. So I'm going to take my heavier dumbbell, or you can take your 2 lighter weights, put them up to my chest, lean forward, strong back. You want to look down. You don't want to be looking up with your neck. So look down, and come up, back down. So hips go back. Back is flat and up, strengthening your low back. And we're going to end with some abs today. We're combining back with abs with a pullover. That's going to be back focused pullover. So pullovers, we have the weight overhead. And we're just going to crunch the legs in and out. Bring the weight overhead, crunch in and out. And when I do a back focused pullover, my elbows are going to be flared. Okay, now it's going to work your lats. This movement right here, you'll feel it in your lats. If you bring your elbows in, it's more chest focused. So when we're doing this pullover, make sure your elbows are flared out a little bit, okay? Those are your exercises today and how you need to do them. And we're going to get started with our first round. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. And I'm going to set my watch to strength training today, but it's up to you if you want to put it on intervals training. We're not really doing high intensity today. This is mainly strength focused. You do get that cardio aspect from the rest time. So I suggest strength training. Okay, get your things together and we're going to get started. Starting with the external rotations. This rest time progression back and biceps begins in under 10 seconds with the external rotations. Bringing the weights together in the center and thumbs out, back in. So my elbows are nice and in at my side, just rotating the hands out and up a little bit. So to my belly button and up to my shoulders, back down. So we're not just swinging the weights. Like I always say, don't just swing the weights. Think of the muscles being used. Think of your biceps. Think of your back. And squeeze. As you come back up here, flex and squeeze the back. Come back down. Rotate. It has been proven that if you have that mind-muscle connection going on, you actually get quicker results. Well, obviously, because you're focusing on doing the exercise correctly. So these 20 seconds of rest are just going to be rest, not active rest, just rest. All right. Now we're going into the dumbbell supported row. So you can do these from your chair. You can set your arm on the coffee table. All right. I'm just using the dumbbell. Press your hand into the dumbbell on the floor. Set your hips back. And we're not rotating like this. So chest should be towards the ground. And you're just driving that elbow back. Sweeping motion towards your hips. Reach and pull. So you should be up here. This isn't correct. This is correct because we're working a lat. And no rounding, none of this. Get that low back flexibility. Set the hips back and row. This is one exercise that I always see performed incorrectly at the gym, mainly because people's back is rounded, all right, and how you set up for it. So I like to set this leg back, set the hip back, and always thinking about that hip back, got one foot back behind me, and my back is nice and strong and flat, and I'm looking down, and I'm not rotating, and always driving back with the elbow, and squeezing at the top. So you want to try to take most of the bicep work out of it, really focus on the back here. You're getting a lot of indirect bicep work with this exercise. And rest. And when you do it correctly, you're really going to feel it right in here, okay? All right, so now we go to wide curl to extension. I'm going to pick up my lighter set of weights. Bring my elbows into the side. Going straight out to the side with this curl. I'm going to curl, extend. Bring the elbows in and squeeze back down. Out, bring them in, down. Make sure your wrists are not, back like this, okay? Make sure it's a nice, strong wrist, right in line with the rest of your arm. This should feel like a concentration curl here with the elbows in, working just the biceps. Reach it out, draw those elbows in, proud chest, back down. And remember, keep those wrists strong. You're going to want to fall back on you. All right. Good morning here next. Placing the weight up at our chest. Leaning forward to a tabletop back and back up. Focusing on lower back. You're going to feel this in your hamstrings as well and in your glutes. Mainly hamstrings because the legs are fairly straight. You've got a tiny little bend in your knee. Hips back and up. Try to come down as far as you can to where your tabletop. Looking down at the ground and not looking up. Come up with the strength of your low back and up. These are not meant to go fast. This is a great exercise to also do with resistance bands. Highly suggest that everyone add in some kind of back extension on your back days or your workouts. Supermans are good for that. All right, extended pullover crunch. I'm going to use my heavier weight. If you're using two smaller weights, hold them and press them together. We're just going to bend and extend our legs at the same time as we come up with the dumbbell. Bend and extend, send it back out. And arms are flared. You can just bring your legs in, and you don't have to lift your shoulder blades off the ground for this because we are focusing on the back. So reach back with the dumbbell and pull it forward. Bring the dumbbell and the knees to meet and send it back. So we're working lower abs here and our lats. Keep your arms, elbows flared. And really engage the back muscles as you come up, squeeze. So you have 20 seconds to rest. And then the first circuit is done. We will not rest much between each circuit. I'll give us about a minute, most likely. But you're probably not feeling very taxed after that right there. So you're really focusing on strength and doing the exercise correctly. Seems easy now. We get to set 2 and 3. It's going to be much harder, okay? You're not going to be able to get that chance to rest. All right. We'll get started with the next set quicker, and we might have a little more rest in between set 2 and 3. All right, 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And we're going to get started with this one. Give you another 10 seconds or so. All right, here we go. And circuit number 2 begins in 10 seconds. Back to our external rotations. All right, pinkies together. Take back with the thumbs. Now that you understand the exercises, maybe you can also work just a little bit quicker through them. We're not going for speed. You want to really focus, obviously, on form. But if you feel comfortable with the exercise, you can work a little quicker through it. I'm really squeezing and flexing at the top here. Squeeze and flex. And I'm really keeping the elbows into my side, focusing on the biceps. With the dumbbell single arm rows next. Carefully set those down. Set yourself up for the next exercise. Make sure you get this form down, okay? Send that leg back. Press your hand into the dumbbell and set the hip back. Nice flat back and row. Row. Really squeeze. If your weights are too light and you're not feeling it, really squeeze and flex. Squeeze and flex. Maybe slow it down and back. Work from the back muscle and not from the bicep. If you feel like the bicep's taking over and fatiguing, you're working too hard with the bicep. Bring it up, bring the weight up from your back. Try the elbow up as high as you can. Now I'm feeling it. Definitely feeling it. So when I'm in the gym, like these are, for me, these are 25-pound dumbbells. If I'm doing this exercise in the gym, I lift much heavier with it, but I'm making this more challenging for me. I'm intensifying this, even though I have lighter dumbbells than I'm used to, and I'm really just slowing it down, squeezing, flexing, focusing on the bicep muscle before I do the left, flexing, squeezing, and trying to drive up with the back muscle. And try not to let that bicep take over. If you start to round, set your hips back. Lean back into them. Feel like you're tapping the wall behind you with your hips. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings as well. And sweep back. Woo! Definitely feel that when I do it correctly, even if the weight is lighter than I'm used to. All right, wide curls to extensions. Strong wrists. Bring it up, out. Squeeze it in. Extend. Draw the elbows in. Focus on bringing the elbows to your obliques. And as you do that, lift the chest. Concentration curl, elbows in, up, out, squeeze. That extension becomes difficult. So leading with the elbows when I come back in. Like I have a resistance band and I'm pulling it down. Woo! Oh, I'm feeling it for sure. Woo, I told you these rounds get harder. All it takes is a little change in your rest time. Okay, good mornings. Weights at the chest, right down and up. My feet are wide. Toes are pointed slightly out. And I have a slight bend to my knees. And my chest comes to about parallel to the ground. And I'm always looking down, never looking up. Hips back and up. You might even try to pause here at the bottom so that you have to use more muscle fibers to get out of that position from here. And up. Slowly down, lock it in, and up. So important to work on low back health. And next one, pull over crunch. Come on down to the floor. Set that weight back behind you. Extend your legs and in, out. Wide elbows. Reach all the way back. You can let the dumbbell tap the ground and pull up. You feel that in your lats. You should feel this in your back. Bring your knees in, crunch the lower body. Extend, bring it in. Dumbbell comes right over top of you. Knees, try to get those knees up to your elbows. Ten seconds left. Keep the elbows wide. And carefully come up. All right, one more round. Give it about a minute. So on the pullover, sometimes people don't feel the pullover correctly. All right, if you have too much, you're taking the weight and doing this. So your arms should stay like this, locked. You're just going up and over. So if you're at, if you're doing these kind of movements for your back with cables or resistance bands, it's that same movement. So you're not doing, you're not bending your arms. Although this is a back movement as well. We're going like this to work a different part of the back. So keep your arms locked in. Reach, bring it over. Reach, bring it over, okay? Almost time for the last one, no rest. So now that you understand the exercises, focus on what's coming next. Transitioning to the next exercise, try to get to it as quickly as you're able and jump right into it, okay? We're not taking any rests this time around. All right, last set is going to start in 10 seconds. Back to external rotations. Bring your focus for this one. All right, here we go. And up, in, up, in. From behind, coming up, squeezing. Good posture. I'm not over rotating. Overextending, I mean, okay? So shoulders stay right over hips. Navel's in. I'm just rotating from my arms here. Up and out. Bring it in. Drawing the navel in. Coming in, squeeze. Come up, flex at the top. Flexing the back muscles. Should feel it in your upper back. Rear delts. You'll hear the bell ring. You have 5 seconds to go right into the next one. So we got the dumbbell rows, single arm. Set up for that. And set up. And get right into it. Leg back behind you. Set the hips back. Reach down with the arm and row. Draw back with the elbow. Nice flat back. So if you feel rounded, hips, you need to lean back into those hips and push the hips back. Chest is towards the ground. Again, we're looking down, we're not looking up. Okay, look down. Press your palm into the other weight. Press and pull. Work from your back. Your biceps starting to fatigue. Bring that mind muscle connection to your lat muscle. We'll work the other side. Woo! I told you it would get harder. 5 seconds. Let's go to the other side. Set yourself up for success here. Press those hips back. Flatten the back. Press into this dumbbell as you pull. Pull. Keep a flat back. Resist that urge to twist, okay? Reach. Now is a good part of the workout where I would say, if I had these towards the end of a workout, now that the body's nice and warmed up, muscles are warmed up, I'd say stretch it out. Go ahead and stretch and pull. Get that stretch in the muscle. I wouldn't have you stretch like this at the start of a workout because the muscles are cold. But now that they're warmed up, you can add in that little stretch and bring it back. Helps to lengthen your muscles. It helps them to grow. Okay, we're going into wide curls. So pick up those weights, go right into it, up, out, bring it in. We're going to focus on this right here. Bring it in, squeeze. Woo! Get some shoulder work in with this one as well. Strong wrists. This is going to be a tough one to get through the full 60 seconds. But you can do it. Lift it out. Bring it in. Woo! We're halfway. Good posture. Shoulders right over your hips. You got to add a little push. Hey, if you're fatigued, you got to add a little push. There, that's fine. Mainly, I want you to focus on drawing the elbows in, not just letting them fall. So not just, okay, control the weight. Bring it up. Draw it in. Lots of control. Not just letting the weights control you. Right to our good mornings. Pick that weight up to your chest. Feet wide, toes out. And hips back, flat back. Down. Get that chest parallel to the ground. Maybe pause here for a second and come up. You're going to feel this in your hamstrings. You're going to feel this in your glutes also. But excellent for your low back as well. So again, you're not rounding. If you're rounding, you're not getting those hips back. Hips back and up. You might find you got tight hamstrings. Tight hamstrings can be caused from a tight lower back. So adding in some things like Supermans at the ends of your workouts, or make it a nightly routine. All right, moving into our crunches. Come on down, let's get right into it. And up and back. Elbows wide. Keep those arms locked in, slight bend. You should really feel it from your lats here. Pulling up If you take the momentum out of it, you focus on that back muscle, try to lift, and up. So many times we do exercises and we let the other muscles take over. Really focus. Bring it up. Knees in. Working abs here too. So get those knees up. Send them out nice and straight. Bring it in. 10 more seconds. Let's just finish it out all the way. And done. Woo! All right. Quick way to hit your back and biceps. Burn a few extra calories. Shortening those rest times. Working on your endurance, your focus, your mindset. So if you like that workout, feel free to do it again, or you can do this many ways. You can do, instead of 3 rounds, you can do 6 rounds and repeat the first round twice, second round twice, third round twice. Okay, so you have a 40-minute workout there if you did it that way, 45-minute workout when you add in the rest in between. All right, so strength focus exercise today. I hope you all like that one, and get to it. Get your Monday off to a good start.